So in this presentation, I'm going to talk about a new low-code platform that we are building, which is called LowSheets. And the idea of this platform is to take advantage of the features that the spreadsheets provide in order to let end users really build their own applications. So this is very much a work in progress. So what you are going to see now, it's a mixture of wishes, that things that we want to build, things that we have built, and a lot of bugs that maybe they are going to arise if I do a demo. So our work motivates, or it's motivated by the following observations. First, Excel is the most widely used programming language. A lot of users in the world are able to write Excel spreadsheets and solve their own business problems with it. But at the same time, these users are not able to use a general purpose programming language. And why is that? This is because when a user is using a spreadsheet like Excel, this user is actually manipulating concrete values. So there is not an abstraction gap. So using these spreadsheets, a user is able to build their own business application. The business application is in the form of a spreadsheet, but it is actually an application. However, this application has many limitations, like the data is coupled with the code with the formulas of the spreadsheet. So if you want to reuse a spreadsheet, you need to delete the data, and this can be very error prone because you may delete things that are not what you want to delete. Also, a spreadsheet can be scaled or set easily for others to use. If you want to use or to put a visual interface, a graphical user interface on top of the spreadsheet, then you enter into scripting territory, and this is something that a normal user is probably not able to do. Also, if you have a spreadsheet with a lot of data, you may encounter performance issues. And of course, spreadsheets also may have errors. So it would be a good idea to apply software engineering techniques to build better spreadsheets. So at the same time, so we have these spreadsheets, and at the same time, we have low code. What is low code? Well, there are many definitions, but a widely used one is that low code is an application development method that elevates coding from textual to visual. So essentially, this is a rebranding of model-driven engineering, but focusing on the development of graphical editors for specific domains. So in the end, what low-code is supposed to achieve is to let end users build their own applications, even if they don't know how to program. But is this possible with current systems? I think that this is actually not possible. So here, this is an example of just to give you an example of this. This is a screenshot of a low-code platform, which is called AppSheets, which is the low-code platform provided by Google. And as you can see, this platform assumes that the users have abstraction abilities, because you need to design your data model or your domain model up front. And this is something that it is really unconnected to what normal people can do. A normal person cannot build these kind of things. On the other hand, we have spreadsheets in which we have very nice features that end users can really use, like direct manipulation of values, like programming, like you are writing your spreadsheet and then you get the results as soon as you enter a formula. Also, a spreadsheet has a gradual learning curve, meaning that you can always start with the things that you know, like arithmetic expressions, and then you, little by little, learn more and get more done. Okay? But at the beginning, you can start doing things. So our hypothesis is that if we want to build a low-code platform for normal users that normal users can use to build their own applications, this this platform should be based on the spreadsheet metaphor, right? This two-dimensional grid and formulas. Also, this platform should be based on the direct manipulation of concrete values, as spreadsheet users do. And also, we need a programming environment based on live programming techniques. As a concrete example of this idea of starting from a spreadsheet and getting an application, in this slide, I have a very simple spreadsheet that one can use to write or to develop a small shopping list. Now we want to get an application from this. So if we have this tool that we want to build, that we can detect that this is a table, and this table can be mapped to a table user interface, table-based user interface, and then this formula to calculate the number of items left can also be put here as a summary. So what we would like is to take a simple spreadsheet like this and convert it into an application. In this case, this application would be what I call a use and throw application. You just develop the spreadsheet, click a button, and then you get a link for sharing with your family or whatever. Another example would be a spreadsheet or an application for sharing expenses. For instance, when you are doing a trip, and what you want is to annotate who has spent money on what, so that at the end of the trip, you have this registry of expenses. So you start with a table in which you enter, in each row, you enter who has spent what, and then you have a summary table at the end in which you have how much money has been spent by each person. From this, we can generate these interfaces if we have the help of a small, more or less basic user interface designer. We can have this designer that links these tables, these interfaces to the table, right? So here we have a form to enter that Jesus have paid 14 euros. Then we have another interface for showing all the people and then the balance of each person. The point here is that in this table there is a lot of implicit information that we can use for building this application. Actually here, what we have is a formula that is telling us that we look up, for instance, this name, Javi, we have to look up this name here and add up every occurrence of this name with this value, right? So essentially what we are saying is that we have two tables. One, we can call it people, and the other expensive, and this is the primary key. And we know this is a primary key because we are using this as a search key. And then we have a foreign key from this to this. So we can recover this information in order to build an actual application, the data layer of an application. A final example that I would like to mention is data analysis. Excel is many times used for data analysis. You get a very big table and you start writing formulas to try to understand this data. The problem is that once you have these formulas, if you want to add more data or load another CSV or whatever, probably if it is very large, Excel is going to start to be a bit slow, and also it can be error prone to load more data. So what we can do is to take this spreadsheet and convert it into a script that does this processing. This is an example that I'm going to show you later. So what is LowSheets? It is the platform that we are building, which is a low-code platform based on the spreadsheet metaphor. And the ideas are the following. The users would write formulas in a free way. They just start writing formulas as they do in Excel. And then the system attempts to infer typical structures like a table, a summary row, a register, whatever. And in this way, there is no upfront design, but the design emerges from the examples that the user is writing. So we do that with an inference algorithm and some inference rules for the types. Another thing that we want to include in low sheets is something to make Excel a bit better. If you think about Excel, it's very good at data analysis, but it is not very good at data manipulation. You cannot take a table and convert this table into another thing. You don't have these primitives. So this is something that we would like to include here because it's very useful for users. And for doing that, we have introduced the notion of data pipelines. Also, we want to have a simple user interface designer and then link this designer to the data so that it is easy to understand how the user interface is built from the data, right? And finally, we want to have code generators that takes all this information and generate actual applications. And we want to do it in real time. So, just this is what we want to do, and I'm going to show you what we have so far so that you can get an idea. So this is the interface, the user interface. And here, well, you have to pay attention now to this part. I will show you later this part. So let's do the example about the shopping list. So here we can have product that we have bought. That we want to buy, the quantity, and whether we have bought it or not. So we can have here milk, and then you see that we have started creating a table, and the system, if you see this red line here, has already detected that that we are creating. I'm going to put this a bit. That we have already created a table, so it notifies us to us. Okay, so milk, 2 packages. We are here just putting examples, right? It doesn't match. It doesn't need to match reality. So here we have bread, whatever. And then from this, we have an example table, and from this, we can. I'm going to go here to interface. From this, we can create a form. This is not. So it changes as we change the row. So this would create a user interface with a form. This is not what we want now. Actually, what we want is a table because we want the user interface to be a table. So this is our design of the user interface, very simple in this case. And then we go here. Then we select that we want a JavaScript application. And then we use web containers to load a Node.js application in the background, and then we put it here. It takes a bit of time, not much. So it should be here, yeah, it is loading. And in a few moments, we should see here the application. It's not very nice, I warn you, but at least it shows that it is possible to generate these applications. So why isn't here here. So here you have a blank application, a new instance of the application, and you can milk, to yes, whatever. Okay, and this is the idea. It's a very simple application, but it shows that it is possible. Then the other example is that I want to do is the data analysis example. For this, I'm going to load a piece of data, which is about medicines. Oops. So we have here prices of medicines, and then we have here prescriptions from the doctors. And we want to, and here we have formulas like VLOOKUP, you see it, to link this product to the price. Okay, so we can use this this pipeline to say something like, we want, for instance, to get all different products. So we link this here, and we say that we want the unique products, and then we got the result. Okay, and then we have this, and we can link this table as if it were a normal Excel table, right? So the user can manipulate this further and do more things. Okay? So from this, what I'm going to do now is to generate a data analysis application so that someone can load actual medicines and do the calculation. So I'm not use the user interface for this because it doesn't work yet. I'm just going to use the development environment. So we just we have this. This is a format that we use for testing, but it is and for import and export, but it is the same. So we here is the specification of the user interface in textual form, and then we click the generator. And yeah, so we generate this, and now I have to remember what is the, well, I don't remember what is the, oh, I'm going to do something. I'm going to tell this, oh yes, okay, this here. So here is the application that we have, yeah, one moment, that we have generated. So this is the application. It's a Python application. If we load it, okay, what you get, it's an empty application again. You can load here actual data, okay, and then you can here write, for instance, aspirin, price, I don't know, 10 euros, 40 pills, daily dose, 2. And then you see that you get the result here. And we can have additional formulas here for computing the total or whatever. And that's the more or less I get that I guess that with this you can get an idea of how this works. So what's the architecture? Basically, we have the front end is built in Svelte, the backend in Spring, and yeah, it communicates with a REST API. And then in the backend, we have a common data model, and then we have the different components that the generator, the spreadsheet engine, all the stuff. And yes, so just to conclude, we think that spreadsheets can be used as a basis for building applications. And for this, we have created low sheets. Yeah, we want to make it work by adding more formulas, take advantage of the pipelines, and fixing a lot of things that we need to fix. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Any questions?
I'm sorry, your presentation, did you try to use Excel pivot tables?
Yes, but the point is to, yeah, I understand the point. But what we want is not that this is a mechanism for analyzing data. What we want is that this is a mechanism for building applications. We want. Yeah, okay, I haven't tried it, but is this actually generating an application? An actual application that you can deploy?
I cannot say that I'm professional in Excel pivot tables, but I remember I was able to build a tree, for example, from table sources.
Sorry,
But you wouldn't, there is source code that you can combine for the deploying without it.
Yeah, it's inside the platform. This is like a program. Well, I get the point, and we have not looked in depth in all the possibilities, but the point is that in the same way that we as programmers have our development environments. We want users to have their own development environments, but with the things that they can use, which are, or the spreadsheets have shown that it's a good way for them to do programs. But I get the point. I really get the point.
Would you generate that source code and be able to modify it beyond your tool, for example, like use your tool to have a basic program, and then
Yeah, that should be possible.
complex?
Yeah, that's one of the use cases, to have this as a way of prototyping, so that, for instance, the sample of the shopping list is generating a Svelte kit project. It's a regular Node.js project that you can just set. The only thing that we do is to load it dynamically, but it's code. Yeah.
I have a question. If you put data in relation, how is it about the forward engineering and round trip engineering PTs? Because if you, for example, would change the number count, then of course it's already summarized, and what does it do with the ingoing data, or otherwise is there something recognizable for the non-IT person?
Can you repeat that? I'm not getting it fully. Can you repeat that? The question, please.
I'm talking about round trip engineering and forward engineering.
Yes.
So, for example, you have a result table.
Yes.
Make changes in the result table.
Okay.
How is it related then to the ingoing data?
Yes, we haven't thought this about. We haven't thought about this very deeply. But yes, that's something that we have to address, because you're right. So our initial idea is to not to let people to touch the view, the result of the as you have mentioned, but just to put data, new formulas that uses this data, but you cannot touch the generated data. Yeah, because otherwise it's very difficult. Yeah. Yeah.
So I have many questions, and I will ask
Okay.
after. The first is, how does the generated application persist in the data? So is Excel just an input format?
No. Well, it's another. I mean, for the moment, we don't have any persisting mechanism. It's just, but the idea is that, in principle, it's not linked to Excel or to the spreadsheet. It's something you can put your own database, or yeah. Well, it was. Well,
So, very
yeah.
interesting topic. Thank you very much. Yeah, very hot to my opinion, because the thing we see very often is that customers want to work with Excel on a day-to-day basis for simple things. And it's also a good way to exchange information, which people do not want to understand very big, complex data models and so on. And usually, if you want it to work, you need to give some freedom to the other persons. You want them to be able to add columns, rows, information without killing your own structure. And when the information come back, maybe you want to take this into account in your data model or not.
Yes.
So
Okay.
I would say that is the most important use case nowadays.
Okay, like enriching information, you mean?
Yeah, being able to send information from one organization to another.
Okay, I see.
Being able to get back information, but letting the freedom to the others to do what they want.
Okay.
Not everything they want.
Okay. Okay, I see.
Everything and keeping the track of everything they have done, nevertheless.
Okay.
Change the original stuff.
Okay, I think I get the point. Thanks for the idea. I think we will put in the brain.
Did you validate this against Excel files and found you rerun?
No. That's no. We have what we have really done is to take some examples and see that it seems to make sense, but we don't really know to what extent.
It would be very curious, just a hunch, no idea, that Excel used by people like us, writing neatly structured
Yes.
tables with nice footers and headers, look very different to Excel files written by.
Actually, there is a paper that talks about it, and yes, it seems that there are many kinds of users. Let's say, yes, you're right. Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, a little bit in the same line. Did you try exposing, let's say, untrained people already with the prototype of your tool to see how they are experiencing it?
No, not yet, because it's. I mean, we have just finished yesterday the things that we need to finish to show it here. But that's something that we need to do as soon as possible. Yes, because.
It's interesting to understand how people that are not aware of this concept will respond to the user interface you're providing, and to really understand whether they are finding it as an added value. I can see the power of it for sure.
Yes, you're right, because as you have mentioned, that's what I have in my mind, but probably not what normal people have in their mind. Oh, yes, you're right.
So my advice would be to expose
Yes.
this as soon as possible to end users, because you will be amazed, and the comment was given here already.
Yes.
So the use cases you will get from the end users. Oh, but if I can do this, why can't I do
Not-
it like that?
yes.
You find a lot of inspiration, I think, for the actual use cases that will drive
Yeah.
this design forward. It's
Yeah.
really promising work.
Yeah.
I like it.
Thank you. Yeah.
One last question. Yes.
Yeah.
So, do you have any plans to expose your data model, or is it going to remain something that is just an internal data?
What do you mean by exposing the?
Making it available at runtime, or making it possible to import other stuff that is not Excel, like a database table, for example?
Yeah, that could be, yes. In the future, it could be a good idea to have like integrations like from APIs or whatever. But as you have said, maybe this is what we have in mind, but we should ask people what they have in mind, because probably it's not the same. Yeah, but you're right.
But this is tools like Langdev already do.
Yes.
Basically import entire database structures and get this functionality to connect all the stuff together.
Yes. To be honest, I have tried some of these tools briefly, and I really couldn't make sense of them. For me, are very complicated. So I guess that because it's making visual what it is with typically you writing, but it's visual. But again, its abstraction level is too high for normal users, I think.
Okay, thank you.